get to know him better. So yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Ayo.
Thank you, Mr. Olokojo. It's also a nice opportunity for me to introduce myself and get to know you as well. Uh,
Well,
Thank you, thank you. I'm Ali. I'm a cybersecurity analyst, and currently I'm working also in penetration testing and managing the cybersecurity aspect of a startup, as well as currently a challenger creator in some CTFs, where I create the challenges for players like Olokojo to solve these uh, um, problems or not problems, but like solve these challenges. And in the end, it's all about education because we take this CTF, which is capture the flag competition, is kind of hand-on training for you to practice and give, like, got the chance to take a hand-on experience legally, of course, um, where most of the cases, if like really high chance to find these kind of vulnerabilities in real life applications and real life penetration testing, like everything you can face on a challenge in a CTF is practically an idea that is there in real life. So basically, before we start, let's. I assume that all of you would know what is Capture the Flag, which is basically a competition where people compete to reach the flag, and whoever reached the flag get points depending on the difficulty of the challenge that they solve and how many steps or flags are there in this challenge. So the main idea is to find the vulnerability, which is most probably will lead you to the flag, which is a string you submit to get points. And the more points you have, the more you rank in the leaderboard. So eventually, whoever got the most points will be on top. That is CTFs, and most there are also different styles of CTFs. There are CTFs where they only focus on the attack side of it, but there are also other CTFs where they let teams. Um, it's mostly team based, where it's attack and defense type, where you have to defend your server with whatever with whatever tools you want or configurations. Like you have a server you have to protect from other teams, and also you have to attack other teams to take their flag. So these are some types of different CTFs that are there. And of course, CTFs are really important in real life situation where you will like find new ideas about exploitations in different aspects of cybersecurity, where there are really way like so much different categories when it comes to capture the flag. For example, we have binary as a category where you implement your binary exploitations, buffer overflow exploitations, and other type of exploitation which comes with binary, which are mostly executable files. It comes also under reverse engineering category. We have also the cryptography category where we try to uh, decrypt some text that we have, which already have been encrypted using some method or some script that will be given to you. Most of the time, like some parameters in this script are not there, but you have to figure out how to get these parameters that is used for encryption in order for you to decrypt the text that or the message, and that message most probably is the flag where you have to submit it. Other really important category is web applications. Web applications now are a major factor in cybersecurity. Literally any company in the world have a website. They have a presence on the internet. That means they have a website. They have maybe a web app or a normal website, and web applications mostly run with frameworks with dot, on Python based or sometimes on PHP based, and both of them are so exploitable. You can find vulnerabilities in web applications so easily, and um, something when you do real pen test, which are the top 10 OWASP vulnerabilities. Mainly, when we design challenges, we focus on these top 10 vulnerabilities that are the most common vulnerabilities when it comes to web applications. So, web applications became one of the biggest categories in and capture the flag competitions as well. Will we be doing a CTF competition? I don't think that we will be doing a CTF competition, but we can, like in this work, maybe in the last day we have a competition, but I'm not sure. We can see for about that, but I think today, like in the last 30 minutes, we can try to solve some practice challenges that are there online, like in open source challenges. Um, Other categories that I didn't mention are what else I didn't mention? Mm, I think I covered most of the important categories when it comes to capture the flag. Uh, Forensics. When it comes to forensics, it's mostly blue team. It comes to under blue teaming. Just we're hi, Isaac. It's you can ask any question you want, and we'll of course answer you. But now we're going through some categories of capture the flag, and we will reach to the forensics category, where you have to analyze most of the time pickup files or logs to find the malicious actions. Sometimes it could be a zip file, sometimes a picture that includes the flag, sometimes just the text, encrypted text or messages that are there in the log or in the pickup file that you have to decrypt and find the flag. So when it comes to forensics, it's most of the time you have to deal with logs and pickup files. So these are the different categories of capture the flag and what is capture the flag basically.
Sorry, Mr. Ali, for breaking you there. Please, just apologies. But I think so. Today we're going to do an introduction to capture the flag, but we'll start solving from tomorrow. So today, day one, we just want to introduce the concept of capture the flag, what people should expect, because I believe some persons might not. Maybe this is their first time, or not their first time, but either way, just to prepare them. Because someone asked earlier, do they need a computer or a system? The requirements of their system, maybe size of their RAM, those types of things, which I would like you to answer. But I believe you're still introducing us to that concept. But as well, I think Mr. Joshua was raising up his hands. Mr. Joshua, sir, you want to quickly say something?
Yeah, no, no. Mr. Ali actually missed some stuff. Like he said like some categories, right? So I just wanted to like give him reminders of categories, and I just wanted to ask you to actually give us the permission to be able to share our screen, because it's more understandable when it is visualized. So yeah, I'll be glad if you can probably give, I don't know, maybe the speaker has permission to share that screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would sort that out. Mr. Ali, you can go ahead. Sorry for cutting you short, sir. Yeah.
No worries, no worries. But could you please let us share the screen so he can share the slides that he have? And as he said, when we visualize it, it'll be better to understand.
Yes. So, actually, apologies on this meeting that
No,
the feature is not available on this meeting, but
I
tomorrow's meeting, yeah, you'll be from day two. Tomorrow
would,
you'll be able to
but
have
I
it.
believe you would be able to just go to um, participants and you can make a co-host if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this link was this today's day one was created on a I don't want to say let me not use too much technical terms, but it
I
was
see.
created with an account that doesn't have that feature to add co-host here. But from day two, which is tomorrow, then yeah, I'll make a
Understand.
new link where you can do that. I hope you understand my point on that.
Yes, yes, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Thank you for your, thank you for that. Uh, I think I missed some of the categories that my colleague would be interested in sharing with us.
Yeah, yeah, bro. I mean, you said a lot, bro. So, the categories like web, right? Which I'm definitely going to give you like a visualization of all this shit tomorrow, because like visualizing things just makes it more fun. So yeah, I really appreciate I really understand what Mr. Ayo is trying to say, so it's fine, man. It's really fine. So yeah, web category, just like Mr. Ali has said, there are a lot of website out there, and I've figured out that web Jeopardy CTF, right? I'm talking about Jeopardy this time. We have different types. We have two types of CTFs, literally. We have Jeopardy and we have attack defense. Mr. Ali made mention of attack defense, whereby you're given a certain, like, probably maybe the cyber keychain or a military attack framework, and you literally use this kind of guide, right? You used either the military from, we know that the military attack framework is definitely from military, and cyber keychain is where it's more of like real-time simulation, while military attack framework is more like penetration testing. So you're given this kind of format, right, or this kind of approach typically in a CTF when it comes to attack defense. But if it comes to Jeopardy, you're given some certain set of challenges, just like Mr. Ali has said. You're given categories of challenge like web, porn, cryptography, OSINT, a lot of kind of challenges categories out there. And web is a very interesting place whereby you are literally probably you're given a website that has some certain vulnerability. It could be SQL injection, it could be a cross-site scripting attack, it could be an SST attack, which is affects template engines like Ginger 2 and other template engines built in maybe Python or template engines are literally run on calculations. So yeah, literally web. Just like Mr. Ali has said, I literally think you should put more attention in web when it comes to CTF, because you always see websites, man. You always see websites. Even in most attack defense CTFs, like a lot of attack defense CTF out there, whenever you run an nmap scan, you're probably going to see port 80 open or some kind of ATCP or ATCPS port literally running on that server, which is where you're literally going to get foothold into the system. Foothold is literally you're trying to get access to the system. So yeah, everything will actually be visualized tomorrow. I'm really happy. I can't wait for tomorrow to come. So I'm very happy to always share my screen and get to show you cool stuff. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to add, literally, Mr. Ali. And thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Joshua, for that. I just want to ask a question. Sorry, before Mr. Ali comes back up. So, like someone that asked in preparation for tomorrow. So, everyone, today is just an introduction to introduce us, and I believe personally, I've learned, from this presentation by Mr. Ali so far and Mr. Joshua. But for others, how do we prepare ourselves for tomorrow's so apologies once again that this the sharing of screen privilege are not available today, but for tomorrow, technically, our systems, what how should we get prepared? And I would like Mr. Ali to also maybe say something around this, but Mr. Joshua, you go first.
All right. So why play CTFs, right? just like Mr. Ali here is a creator of CTF, I'm sure he understands what creating CTFs are like. You don't literally need a hard rim, right, to actually say, okay, yeah, I need to start playing CTFs. To be honest, it literally depends. Like me now, I've got a 16 gig RAM system, and I literally run Linux defaultly on it, right? I don't use Windows. I use Windows in a VM. Literally, I have Linux running as my host operating system. So it literally depends, right? Whenever you want to start playing CTF, right? If you're a beginner in CTF, you literally don't need that much. I think 8 gig RAM, starting with 8 gig RAM is literally fine if you want to start attack defense CTF. So far, you are actually, I mean, there are different terms to be considered here. Take for example, if you're going to be hosting a CTF, okay, Mr. Ali can create a CTF now, right? He can create a machine. Let me just put it that way, and then he can send it to me as an OVA file, right? So that OVA file, I literally need to import it to a virtualization software like VMware or VirtualBox, right? So if you're doing this, you literally know that, okay, yeah, I need a system of 16 gig RAM because the machine is going to be using its own RAM and I'm going to be using my own RAM to pen test. You understand? To pen test that machine. But if you're going to be doing challenges on cloud like TrackMe, Hackbox, these are platforms that have made it easy for everybody to be able to, participate in CTF competition. So, we don't literally have excuses. So if you're going to be doing it on platform like that, you don't literally need. I mean, 8 gig RAM is enough. To be honest, in my honest opinion, you can start with 8 gig RAM system and just keep learning, keep learning. Just like Mr. Ali has said, the purpose of playing CTFs is not just for us to. It's not just for us to just say, yeah, I have this flag or I capture this flag. Nah, we're actually here to educate ourselves, to know why that vulnerability is there, to know why, or to think like the CTF creator, what is it trying to pass down? What does he want me to know? There are some boxes that are configured some way, like, right, there's a level in CTF, in plain CTF, where you reach that, like, all boxes have a particular pattern. Okay, you need to get this, you need to probably get your access to the system through port 80, and then you need to probably use sudo to probably escalate, maybe belong to the sudo group, and then you can just run sudo su, and then you are root already. There are boxes like that, but there are still boxes whereby you actually have unintended way, right? But you literally need to get a certain level to be able to achieve those kind of curiosity, or to be able to achieve that kind of let me just say aura, right? So yeah, it's literally, you don't need a big system. You don't need, let me just call it a gaming system. You don't need a gaming system to be able to play CTFs, to be honest. So yeah, thank you.
All right.
Mr. Ali, you can go ahead and.
Thank you so much. So, yeah, we have just around 15 minutes, and I would like to entertain more before this meeting ends. Again, apologies. That was actually, some sort of, I'll say, yeah, it was. I actually really thought that, we had, the features where we don't have to be limited by either the features that our guest has requested or even by time. But that would all be sorted out by day two of this workshop. So we have barely 15 more minutes, and I would like to entertain one or two questions from our participants. But yeah, Mr. Ali, while you come up, I'll also like you to maybe share the light on that, like maybe a continuation from what Mr. Joshua has said. But if that's sufficient, then that will do, and then maybe just help us gradually, close to this session on this introduction. And tomorrow, yeah, we should definitely get things going. Mr. Ali, over to you.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, how should we part? Okay. Now for tomorrow to prepare, I would, as my friend said, like it depends on how you want. What do you like? What purpose do you want to prepare your machine or your device? But I would say if you're trying to participate in global CTFs or CTFs like Try Hack Me, Hack the Books, or anything that require remote access, uh, then you will just need just it depends also on your machine. If you want to run virtual books, I think minimum of 8 GB of RAM, so you can run your main device, your main operating system, and the virtual books one. So And when you want to run your virtual box, I would recommend you to start up with operating system. You can use any operating system that run Linux because it requires less resources than Windows, way less resources. And also you can install the required tools that you need to do as like to have as a pen tester and as a cybersecurity professional. You need these tools, and these tools are on mostly on Linux. And the most used operating system for Linux, I would say, especially for hacking and like pen testing, would be Kali, because it has a pre-installed tools that like 100% will come on hand while we do the actual pen test or CTF. Is the class for 7 p.m. or 7:30? It starts at 7:30 and it will end at 10, starting from tomorrow. Just come with a screen recorder. Okay, that's. Um, what other questions do you have?
Okay, so any other questions from our participant today? I think Mr. Ali and Mr. Joshua
Yeah,
are actually fired up and ready for us. I think we are just the one who is okay, but by tomorrow, yeah, everything gets more interesting by tomorrow. But I've really enjoyed today's sessions, and I think I've learned from the presentations that we have had our guests speak to us. Mr. Hope, your hands were raised. Do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Please, please, I wanted to know, are we going to leverage on any platform for the CTF, or we are going to use our hardware system during the section?
Okay, I didn't get the question, but I don't know if Mr. Joshua or Mr. Ali got your question, so they can answer.
could you please repeat your question? Could you please repeat your question? Okay.
Hello?
Yes, Mr.
So I
Adebayo,
guess he
please.
was asking if, yeah, I think Mr. Hope was asking if we are going to leverage on any platform or we'll be depending on a hardware box like his personal laptop or any device to participate in the CTF. I think that's what Mr. was asking. So my whole question is, what distro are we looking like at in the Linux box to be set up? I want to ask if Parrot OS will also be fine to participate in the CTF, or it has to be Kali Linux box.
Parrot is fine, bro.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Temitayo, you have a question as well, sir.
Yes, my question is regarding programming language that someone has to be proficient in participating in CTFs. Like, in terms of the web category of CTFs, like, what programming language would you recommend for a beginner to actually be knowledgeable into actually participating?
Mr. Ali, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, definitely. When it comes to programming languages, uh, CTF challenges are designed with honestly all programming languages. There is no specific programming languages. It will depend on the challenges creator. But since we're like in these days, they're mostly using Python number one, then PHP they use for the .NET for web applications. Also, they used a lot of C because of the vulnerability of buffer overflow. Sometimes they use C++, but that's in rare cases. Um, yeah, but some some other challenges creators use some other languages as well. So you have to, as a cybersecurity, you just have to have the mindset of a programmer where you can understand any language you can read.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Okay, Mr. Fahim, please go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Joshua. Good evening, Mr. Mustafa. Thanks for having us over here. Sir, I have a question out of bound. It's not about CTF. Mr. Mustafa, you said in the beginning of your introduction that you also have a startup in cybersecurity. Sir, could you kindly share some information and could you also be um, provide us guidance how to create your own startup in cybersecurity? Thank you, sir.
Okay, I think, well, he didn't ask me to do this, Mr. Ali. He didn't ask me to. He didn't ask me to do this, but I will say, Mr. Ali can also be reached. I want to believe with his permission on LinkedIn as well. So because I want us to entertain questions that are pertaining to CTFs. Do understand your question, Mr. Fahim, but yeah, you can definitely find Mr. Ali. Mr. Ali, are you open to connections on LinkedIn? Okay, so
Appreciate it, sir.
okay, so I
I
think
just sent. I have just sent a connection to Mr. Joshua also.
great, great,
I sent him a this on LinkedIn already. So
great.
Nelson is the name. So I'm waiting for him to respond to it.
All right, so we can see that we already started making those connections, right? Of course, which is one of the essence of these meetings. So yeah, I think with all this being said, because we actually have a few more minutes left, so I just want to say thank you. Today has been very insightful. I've learned a couple of things, and I'm excited. Even though we were probably limited by some things today, which I sincerely apologize for. But from tomorrow, I can assure you that new links will be sent out to all those who have registered for this event, and then that link definitely would be a link that various features, of course, even for our guests, will be available on. That being said, I want to say a very big thank you for this day one workshop to Mr. Joshua and Mr. Ali for coming here and enlightening us, preparing us on what day two and day three would look like. From my end, thankfully I have a good system. I'm not going to disclose my system specifications, but I know they will definitely be able to carry up the exercises that Mr. Ali and Joshua will be giving to us. But yeah, so I just want to say a very big thank you once again to Mr. Joshua, Mr. Ali. Thank you so much for coming. Tomorrow, by God's grace, we'll be live here again, same time, 7:30 p.m. West African time. It's 10:30 Gulf Standard Time, and we'll be streaming live on YouTube, and then it will also be recorded. Well, that being said, today's session is still being recorded, and then it will be available on our YouTube channel as well. I don't know, any final words from Mr. Joshua and Mr. Mustafa in the next in a few minutes.
No, man, no, no. I mean, just keep. I mean, just like I said, introduction. CTF is a progressive approach. You cannot become a pro in one day. There are guys like SCT, there are guys like Zero Day, there are guys like IPPSec, and these are individuals that are literally very, very good at playing CTFs. So yeah, it's a process literally. So you should embrace it. Whenever you start out, it's going to be frustrating. Let me just prepare your mind. Starting out with CTFs is frustrating, but as time goes on, it's going to be fun. So yeah, that's my last ADV. So yeah, thank you, Mr. AY. I really appreciate for giving me this opportunity to be able to share, be able to dish out knowledge, right, to
Yes,
newbies. So I'm really really grateful.
yes, sir. Mr. Ali, any final words?
Likewise, I really appreciate this opportunity to share my knowledge about CTF.
Thank you so much. Okay, yeah. So everyone, I know we are all asking a lot of questions, but I can assure you by tomorrow, day two, definitely your questions will be answered. Just please join us same time tomorrow. I see everyone, most of us that are here definitely received the link. So another link will be sent to our email for those who have registered, and we'll have day two, definitely more educative and insightful, even more in depth than today. So that being said, thank you all for joining, and do have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Thank you.